Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Success Life Live. My name is ericgreid, and I'm glad you take time out of your day to tune in. Excuse me. I think springtime in Georgia, pollen. It's not raining, it's raining pollen. But anyhow, I'm glad you take time out of your busy morning to jump in and join me for this Success Life Live. Each and every day, we gather here in order to begin to build that mindset, to begin to transfer that thinking, to move us in the direction that we need to move. And so I'm glad you're here. Good morning, Miss Desiree. Good to have you joining us. Take a minute, stop in, say good morning. Facebook has a way of saying there's 10 people in the room, but only 2 people I get to see. So make sure you're saying hello. Good morning, Miss Julia. I hope you are well. I was just saying I'm getting a bit of a frog. I think it's the pollen season is officially hit. Buenos dias, Santos. Good morning, Santos. Love that name, by the way. Love that name. Santos. It's just, I don't know. Anyhow, so a lot going on. I had some phenomenal coaching calls this week. A lot of my clients are really beginning to make that big breakthrough shift. It's funny, as a coach, like everything else, there's sort of a season in our business, and we get this big rush of people from December and January. They're like, I've got big plans for 2019. I'm going to make it happen in 2019, 2019, 2019. And that's like the mantra of January. And so I'll hire a coach and do this and do this and do this. And it's kind of like the same thing that happens at a gym. Somewhere about the end of January, first week of February, they start to fade off, drop off, die off, so to speak. And then all of a sudden I get this peak, like 1st of March, middle of March, where I get some people calling about coaching services and being involved in coaching. And they're like, you know, I tried it the old way. I thought this time it would change. I thought I could break through. I thought I had everything in place. And here I am already starting to see that 2019 isn't going to be what I thought. I'm losing focus. I'm losing direction. I'm feeling stuck. I need a kick in the butt. And finally, I figured out what my problem was. I was trying to do the same old thing the same way I used to. And guess what happened? I ended up in the same old place. And so please, Coach Eric, help me get past it. Help me get into it. I know that I can still achieve my dreams and goals. And that's kind of why I love March and April. Because those clients that come to me during that period, man, I know they're digging in deep. I know they're ready to do some hard work. I know they're not surface level living people. And so, like I said, I love what I get to do every day. I love coaching, and I love the coaching process, and I love seeing the transformed lives through the coaching process. And, you know, somebody asked, what do I do and how do I do it and all that? And I joked the other day, I said, I think I'm kind of like that catalyst, you know. I'm sort of the baking soda and the vinegar. I'm the thing that like gets it all bubbling and moving and changing. And so, anyhow, that's why we do Success Life Live every morning as well. And we have the Success Life Live weekly newsletter, which has a weekly coaching tip and a whole bunch of other things. And if you haven't signed up for it, I don't know why. I don't know why, but you can do so at ericgreid.com/subscribe. So anyhow, I want to talk to you about living your own thing, living your own path. You know, I had posted earlier this morning, whatever you think, be sure it is what you think. Whatever you feel, be sure it is what you feel. Whatever you dream, be sure it is what you dream. So often, and I was a victim of this, I think we're all victims of it on and off and throughout our life, we look towards our mentors, we look towards our parents, our grandparents, our siblings, the people of influence. And with best intention, they say, oh, you should do this, or you shouldn't do that, or this is the path I see you going down. This is what you should think. This is how you should feel. This is how you believe. And so we adopt it without really filtering it in, without really qualifying if it really belongs to us or if it belongs to our tribe. You know, I love being an observer of humans. And it's so funny because I'll hear somebody say something and I'll be like, well, why do you say that? Well, that's the way we always said it. That's the way it always is. That's what our people do. I'm like, okay, but why? And they don't even know the why behind it. You know, I joke that When I go up to Appalachia, they always say, oh, bring me the store bill. I'm like, store bill? What is the store bill? Like, for the first couple times, I was like staring at myself like, I have no clue what they're talking about. And because I'm one who will ask, I asked the question, what do you mean store bill? And they said, you know, after you buy it, the thing you get. I'm like, oh, you mean the receipt? And they're like, yeah, the store bill. Well, the reality was back in the culture, way back in the day, you didn't earn cash and then go buy things. You earned credit at the county store. And when you needed something, you would go down and you would get it. And then as you walked out, they would hand you a bill saying, by the way, know that when your paycheck arrives here at the county store, we're going to be deducting for these items. So here's your bill. So when you come back and you want to pick up your paycheck, be aware that it's going to be missing this. And so therefore, culturally, they began to use the word store bill. Bring me the store bill. Even though the behavior, even though the pattern, everything had shifted, that word stuck. And nobody bothered to question, like, that doesn't make sense. But because I saw it and I asked it and I looked into it, I was like, okay, we do the same thing with our words and our thoughts and our belief systems. Because it worked for somebody in the past, long ago, generationally sometimes, and it's been what our family has always been, what our family is about, we thought, well, in order for us to survive, we have to. And as little kids, yeah. I mean, what's that expression? I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me. And so if my parents believe something, and I questioned their authority, I questioned their wisdom, I questioned their position, wouldn't I put myself at risk? Like, I could become homeless. They could stop feeding me, stop loving me, stop caring for me. And I'm too young and too fragile and too broken to survive that. So I'm just going to go along with what they say. And you know what? As a 6 and a 7-year-old, I get it. But what happens when we begin to be 16 and 17 and 20 and 30 and 40? And those same insecurities, those same fears, those same doubts about ourselves move us into someplace else where we're in relationships that people say, oh, this isn't how you should think. This isn't how you should believe. This isn't how you should dream. And we begin to doubt whether we could survive on the planet without their validation and their assurance and their suggestions. So we buy into that. Or, oh, wait a minute, you know, up in here, down in there, over here, if you think that way, you're going to be on your own. Go ahead if you want. Be an outsider, be a rebel, but you'll be doing it on your own. Well, can I really survive? If I'm on my own, do I have what it takes? Do I believe in myself enough? Do I trust my divine God to protect and care for me if I become myself? No, instead I'm going to settle in and allow other people to become my voice, other people to become my thoughts, other people to become my dreams. Because as long as I go along, I get along, and I'm taken care of. Now, I said I had this as sort of a personal experience. So when I went off to college, young, brave, and smart, my mother said, what are you going to study in school? I said, well, I want to be a psychologist, a therapist. I want to be in that space that, you know, not sure what it is, Mom, but that's where I'm going. She said, well, that's ridiculous. Nobody ever makes money doing that. How are you ever going to be any good at that? You're not going to waste 4 years of your life going off to get unemployed. Blah, 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 blah. Story, story, story. I was like, but Mom, it's what I want to do. It's what I want to be. It's who I think I should become. No. Do what you're good at. Follow through. Get a job. Now, as an adult, I understand my mom and her history and the need for safety and security and predictability, having been a single mother and raising 3 children on her own and all the things that went with that. She was guarding me against the uncertainty, against the unpredictability, against possible failure from her perspective. And so what did I do? I went off to college. I followed my mother's wisdom. I became got a degree in biochemistry and genetic engineering. I know, I laugh as I say it. And I walked out of the thing and I was like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And it set me up for a series of failures because every time I was pointed in the direction of my degree, my heart, my soul, my spirit pulled me in the other direction. So I would sabotage success so that I could try and find a restart place. I would sabotage any kind of progress because I knew that if I followed that progress, it would lead me further and further away from who I was and what I wanted to become. And so every time I started to gain momentum, I would start to lose it. And then I would try and make excuses and repoint myself in the direction that I want to go. But then I would hear the wisdom of my mother and my family. And, well, you've got this degree. You just spent 4 years. Why aren't you doing? And I was like, oh, okay, fine. Everybody's right. I do have this degree. I should, boom, failure, success. Well, you could go back and get a master's degree. And then you go, oh, that's a good idea. But boom. And I realized that what I had done is the internal voice in my head was not matching my heart, my spirit, my soul. And I was in conflict between the two things. And some days this would win, and some days this would win. Some days this would win, and some days this would win. And until I settled in and I accepted the reality that, wait a minute, at the end of the day, this is my life. Like, my mother will die off and I will be left behind. My friends, my professors, my employers, they will go off and have the life that they want and I'll be left behind. And do I want to be left behind in this position? Or do I want to be left behind in the position of my own choosing, my own creating, my own making? And so when I said, whatever you think, be sure it is what you think. Whatever you feel, be sure it is what you feel. Whatever you dream, be sure it is what you dream. Now, yes, we have obligations and responsibilities to our children, to our spouse, to those people that employ us. I love that idea, Santos, double-mindedness. Truth, truth, truth. Double-mindedness is a beautiful word for it. But look at those responsibilities. Look at those connections. And then, am I thinking my own thoughts? Am I believing my own beliefs? Am I living my own dreams? And if I even attempt to express my own thoughts, my own voice, my own dreams, my own ideas in this group of people, in this language around me, am I applauded? And am I encouraged? Am I supported? Or am I shamed back to average, shamed back into the commonness, shamed back into the culture? Now, I often look at, when I look at family dynamics and community dynamics and team dynamics and company dynamics, and you have that one person who starts to wander, how quickly the pack will circle around them and push them back into existence and push them back into status quo and push them back into the common language, the common dream, the common beliefs. And now sometimes it's done to protect and care for with good intention, bad direction. But sometimes it's done because if one person gets away, if one person gets out of the group, if one person charges ahead and moves ahead and becomes something, then all the beliefs that we've held as a community, as a family, need to be questioned. Because up until now, we said if you do that, you're going to fail. And all of a sudden, this guy just broke the rule, so therefore the rule is broken. So, uh-oh, now we got to look at it again. So I encourage you, I beg you, I challenge you to speak your dream today, to speak your voice, to speak your independent thought. And then watch what happens. Listen to what happens. Study what happens. Because your success is directly related to the people that you're hanging out with. And we hear that, the average of 5 people. Well, you know what? In order to find the right 5 people, you might need to get away from the people you're currently with. You might need to stop listening to the community and the language and the culture that you're in to get to the people that you need to get to the language that you need to get to the life that you deserve. My mother, in all good intention, thought she was doing great. She didn't mean to crush me and break me and destroy my spirit. But until I was able to finally break free of her voice, not her love, I started to be like, wow, you know what, Mom? I love you. But this thing you want from me is killing me. This language that we use doesn't sound right. These thoughts that you think are your thoughts. I'm not a mother. I'm not a woman. I wasn't abandoned by my husband with 3 young children and knowing that's not my story. And so I love you. I care for you. But it's time that I think my own thoughts, speak my own words, be my own person, dream my own dream. And if I win, if I fail, if I succeed, whatever the outcome, I get to be it. It's mine. It's mine. It's my destiny. It's my life. It's my choice. All right? You are who you hang out with. So true, Santos. But sometimes, and I'm gonna challenge you. I'm just gonna push into you. Sometimes we choose the people because they don't challenge us. Sometimes we have those friends that encourage us, but don't kick our butts. Sometimes we have those people who are applauding, but not directing us on the next place to go. I mean, I got lots of people. You see them here? They're like, yeah, way to go. Keep going, keep going. But they'll never call me out. They'll never say, you said you were going to do this. I don't see this happening. Way to go, Greg. You'll be hanging out with us. Sometimes I need to be breaking free of people, rotating people, moving up with people, being challenged by people. And that's where masterminding, coaching, and networking, and things like this. And that's why I encourage you guys to connect and invite other people in. To reach out and go, hey, I see you do this thing with Eric every morning and I haven't had a chance to say hi to you, but you're obviously somebody that's thinking in the direction that I want to be thinking, so let's hang out virtually and online. Good morning, Phil LeBlanc. He is an amazing man. He's an amazing man. He's an amazing man. That's all I can say. He makes people better just by being around them. So, and that's the kind of people you want in your life. People that will give you the freedom to speak your own voice, give you the freedom to speak your own dreams, give you this encouragement to think your own thoughts. And I love hanging around with people that go, you know what? I hear what you're thinking. It's not what I'm thinking, but explain to me why you think that way. Because they want to explore it, and they want to explore me, and they want to support me. Versus those people, you know what you're thinking? That's wrong. You're right. I'm left. I'm black. You're white. You're up. I'm down. You're wrong. You need to come over to us. You don't need those people. As good intentioned as they are, they're misdirected. I think I just came up with a quotable. Good intentions can be misdirected. Now, that's what I got for you guys. Remember, and it's out there on the Facebook feed down below. Whatever you think, be sure it is what you think. Whatever you feel, be sure it is what you feel. Whatever you dream, be sure it is what you dream. All right? That's what I got for you. Tomorrow is Fun Friend Friday with my friend Gina Watts. We're talking about youth leadership, youth development in the John Maxwell community. April is like Global Youth Initiative, where we travel into schools, into community centers, into any place that has little people, and we pour into them lessons of leadership and confidence and encouragement. It's an amazing month for youth empowerment. And so she's going to be coming in and talking about youth development opportunities, as well as leading the next generation of kids. And so make sure you're in the room. I will post the link below later today. Make sure you invite teachers and ministers and counselors and anybody that comes in, bus drivers, anybody that comes in contact with our little people should be in the room tomorrow. So until then, go out and live your life with success. It is yours and you are fully worthy of it. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.